One thing I've been practicing recently that has improved my drawing process is being more aware of my spatial position while drawing and observing. Main goal of drawing and painting is to be able to simulate a 3D world on a 2D surface. And to do this, you have to know and understand spatial relationships of the objects in your scene. However, the most important object in your scene that can often go overlooked is you, the viewer. No matter how simple or complex a drawing is, there is one absolute constant variable that's present within every single piece. There always has to be somewhere there to view it. Now, while pondering on this thought for a while, I had a couple of epiphanies. The first had to do with personal identity. As creatives, we tend to fall under the identity as artists. But what separates the best from the rest is how much they have the audience in mind while creating. Audience can sound like someone that's outside of you, but the first audience that will get to view any of the artist's work is the artists themselves. Now, the next epiphany I had is directly related to my drawing process. While trying to combat autopilot while drawing, I began to become hyper aware of what and how I was thinking while drawing. Eventually, I noticed that the times I felt the most in control while drawing is when I had a physical and emotional connection with the drawing. This concept is hard to explain with words, but to put it simply, it is the experience of creating and the experience of experiencing itself. That sounds kind of weird, I know. Or rather, how it feels to view an object, right? Now, this led to me wanting to personally connect with everything I draw to have a better sense of control. And this is when it hit me. Quickest and easiest way to form a connection with the drawing, reference, etc., is by being aware of your spatial locality. Now, the term name is something I made up, but what it is essentially is your physical location in relation to all the elements within the drawing or all the elements within the reference, etc. Let me explain further. All you have to do is really understand that you are the one observing and everything you see is in relation to you and your perception. So how does this understanding make me draw better? The simple answer is that I have an extremely useful point of reference that I can refer to constantly, which helps me solve spatial problems during the drawing, and a more fluid understanding of how to navigate the 2D space of my canvas in a three-dimensional manner. This is one of many reasons why drawing from observation is so effective. You're looking at a scene, seeing how every object is placed, its position from you, either to your left, to your right, above and below you, and its distance from you. Basically, something having the sense of being near you or something having the sense of being far from you, or in front or behind something. This makes the concept of perspective more intuitive because you are no longer focusing on the location of vanishing points for 1, 2, or 3 point perspectives. This intuitive sense allows you to see everything is in relation to you, aka your perspective. Now, this changes how I think while drawing. I'm always thinking in terms of me. This cube is placed to my left, the cylinder to my right. The cube is closest to me and slightly in front of the cone. This description alone created some map in my mind that gives me a sense of spatial orientation and awareness. And what makes this realization so easy to implement is the fact that this is something that we do on a daily basis to the point of mastery where we don't even think consciously about it. Stop for a second and just take a glance around the room that you're in. If you were to get up and move to another room, you would know exactly the clearest path to take to walk from here to there without bumping into any objects like chairs, tables, or walls. Unless you're clumsy, hey, we all have those moments. But your brain just processes spatial relationships automatically, moment to moment, right? The goal is to become more aware of this process and use it while you're drawing. I think the best way to pick up on this is to draw from life or observe from life as much and as often as possible, whether it be at a park, museum, or just a still life. Physically being in the scene that you're drawing connects you in a way that is more personal than if you were to draw from a book. Once you get some experience connecting to drawing in this way, drawing from a photo or book reference becomes a lot more than just copying one to one. Hopefully you enjoyed my brief overview of what I call spatial locality. We know big fancy names, but the term name doesn't matter. Anyway, hopefully you guys got something out of that. Hit the like button if you did and subscribe if you're new here. I do have some videos planned in the future and where I go a bit more in depth on observation and the way I view things. So stay tuned for that. Anyway, your boy is out. Hit that subscribe button. Do it right now. Do it right now.